Hello and welcome. I am Arun from Beautiful Mind IS, and this is my psychology optional open class. In this class, I am going to discuss one question that has been asked in Civil Service Examination 2025, and I will try to pinpoint the reason why some students do not get adequate marks. I will pick up a very common, simple question where every student uh, would feel that it is quite easy, and everyone would claim that I should get or he should get, she should get maximum marks. But let me tell you step by step that how you should develop your questions, and you can check that whether your answer or my answer uh, match or not. Okay, let's start. I have taken a questions and this question is here that IQ tests are too narrow to focus in focus. मतलब IQ टेस्ट जो है बहुत ही नैरो है फोकस में. Evaluate the statement. You should evaluate this statement from the perspective of Sternberg and Gardner theories of intelligence. 10 marks. Very easy. So, how your answer should go? First, you understand this thing. How your answer should go? First part you should evaluate, but context will be Robert Sternberg and Gardner. So, see, we can start like this, like model answer. So, IQ test is, I think it is written narrow. This is the, why it is called IQ test is too narrow. This is the critical point. We will take two perspective because it is specified that you take these two perspective to answer. Because when we talk about IQ, this IQ test, then we talk about traditional IQ test like the IQ test developed by Binet and Simon. Then the same test was taken to US and became a Stanford Binet test, Wessler test. There are so many tests. So if we take those IQ tests, why it is called? It is narrow in focus. Narrow in focus. I should add this thing also in focus. Where it focus upon. This is very important. So Robert Sternberg. You know this thing, triarchic model. So what it says? Robert Sternberg and the traditional model. One difference is that those approach are called, in collectively that those approach, traditional approach is called factor analytical approach. Means the purpose was to factor analyze how many factors are there in intelligence and make use of that thing to make IQ test. Okay, but this approach, so-called Robert Sternberg and Gardner, Gardner's model, we will take. So, what was the view of Robert Sternberg? Robert Sternberg says that there are, if we take this as intelligence, this whole circle is intelligence, then at least there are three arcs. One arc, suppose this one is traditional arc, that is recognized by this one, but there are other arc as well. So he means Robert Sternberg says, let's see this thing, this one should be called componential intelligence, componential, or in simple term it is called analytical intelligence. This one is traditionally recognized, that doing logical analysis, and on the basis of that judging the mental power of the individual. Okay, so Robert Sternberg says that traditionally we have captured this one. So is the case with Gardner. Gardner differed in the same way, but he said that there are multiple intelligences. Plural it is that intelligences. So first I will discuss this thing. He said that okay, this one is traditional kind of thing that has been captured by tests like Binet-Simon test or Bachelor test, or for that matter other tests. This one. So other one is what? Other components are also there. Tri-arc means 3 arcs are there. Okay. So what are those arc here in Robert Sternberg? One is called so-called practical intelligence. Practical of real world. Is it that such people may do good in academic area, but some individuals do well in practical field, like leader and all, like street smart or so called. So many terms are coined to this thing. Practically, some in practical world means the real world. कुछ लोग होते हैं ना कि that they are very good in math, good in academic area, but real world में जाओ तो उसका कहते हैं कि इसको तो कुछ अक्ल ही नहीं, बस चश्मा लगा के पढ़ता रहेगा, something like that. So he said that such people are very smart. Practical intelligence. Getting? And one another component is here. This is called experiential intelligence. Experiential. Experiential means experience based. That is required in creativity. Do you have ability to think in a new way? See, logic can make you blind. This is logical intelligence. So, concept-based thinking, logic-based thinking. So, you will have a contour. You cannot cross that contour. Suppose you have something in mind of gravitation. You always think that things will come down because of the gravitational pull. This is embedded in your mind now in schema that you have learned. Now that will prevent you, that will stop you from thinking that on something from a new perspective, where this law is not valid. See, if you take Newtonian mechanics, mass and velocity are not connected. But what about in quantum mechanics? See this. So had Einstein thought in the same way, he would not have discovered other things. और भी जितने भी quantum mechanics के लोग हैं, वो would not have discovered that thing. So this create a barrier sometimes. So some individuals are not constrained by that barrier. Which one? Logical barrier. Logic can make you blind. Logic can make you blind, something like that. So you should say this thing, that at least Robert Sternberg says that there are at least two other area where traditional IQ tests do not capture the things. Clear? And then so in one paragraph you will write, I am explaining, but you will write immediately this statement. And what about Robert Sternberg? You know very well that Robert Sternberg said that there are 8 types of intelligence, and if you want, you can write all 8 types of intelligence. You can list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is not archaic. It's a bit 8 domain. These are, you know, he was emphasizing, Robert Sternberg was emphasizing some kind of arc. Then intelligence, concept of intelligence is not complete until unless we take other two arcs. Then triarchy. It is intelligence is measured up at least 3 arcs. He said that we can look at, see the perspective. We can look at the intelligence in different way. That people can be intelligent in different way, means domain are different. So here is domain. Domains are different domain. For example, one person is good at logical mathematical, good at number and all these things. So other is musical, and you will not find poor correlation. Means these two things are not mutually correlated. So you cannot say factor analytical. Domains are different. So these two are independent, means exclusive, not overlapping. What about traditional intelligence? It's that we try to map out the thing, measure the thing, ability to reason well, ability to judge well, ability to comprehend well, ability to solve problem. So it try to solve the problem out, test your ability in this domain only. Reason well, judge well, comprehend well, ability to adapt and adjust. Only these things are there. But he says no, actually domain are different. So how can you test that same thing in the same way? That is one logical mathematical in one area where you are confined. But there are other areas as well. For example, intrapersonal and interpersonal. I'm not listing all things, but you just know this. Ability, some people are good in self-awareness, good in self-observation. So many of the spiritual kind of, meditative kind of individual who practice that thing and are expert in the field, people differ. Self-awareness and अब सभी लोग अपने को देखते हैं, बट देखने का क्षमता अलग अलग होता है. सब बायस्ड हो जाते हैं बहुत ज्यादा. कुछ लोग बहुत ही ऑब्जेक्टिव होते हैं, विलियम वुड टाइप साइंटिफिकली यू कैन से. तो इंट्रापर्सनल मींस एबिलिटी टू look inside, doing introspection very objectively as possible. And other is that some people know that they are not good at, and maybe that they are not good at understanding other, but they are very good at understanding other individuals. So interpersonal. Likewise, you know this thing that bodily kinesthetic, okay, natural intelligence means of, then spatial intelligence, and there is verbal. These are the type. So you need not to list all the things. Here in 10 mark you need to make your point that traditional IQ test was capturing one aspect and took only very narrow view. But these individuals who are from the information processing traditions of intelligence, means new approach on intelligence, they believe that no, intelligence should be measured in a broader way. And for example, scholastic aptitude SAT, that will capture only logical mathematical intelligence, verbal intelligence, but not all. You have suppose captured this one and you have captured only this one, but you have excluded this one. These things are you have excluded. Understood? So question, what was the question? That let me tell you, and now you will see the rhyming. That IQ tests are too narrow in focus. Evaluate. So we have evaluated in part. Now we will go on closing this statement from the perspective of Sternberg and Gardner theory of intelligence. Only these two you should take to evaluate the things. So now the final conclusion kind of thing, because you are evaluating something, you should add something from your side. So thus you can say, don't say thus like immediately, just first you say, but if we take opposite view, that then IQ test, this IQ test, also called traditional IQ test, it's a no, reliability is relatively very high. It means satisfactorily high. This is the things, but this is a positive thing, but in that limited domain. Limited domain. So some people will say that reliable and valid. So how can you say they are not? Narrow in focus means you are reliable and valid, but in limited area. This is the claim. Generally, it is said that IQ tests are valid. They are giving good result because predictive validity is there. If I say a scholastic aptitude test, suppose your score is Z score is +1, +2, then I can say that you will do good in better in academic area in comparison to those individuals who are at lower level. Getting? And the same become true. Then what would you say? That yes, it has got predictive power. So that predictive power validate. But this is not this is the claim that in favor of IQ test. But here a statement that it is narrow in focus. You are valid in the limited domain. Criticism is that validity is okay, but you are not capturing the whole thing. You are capturing only part of the thing. Intelligence is something that is a broader concept. Nobody knows for sure. You see dragon. If you see something like that, it could be shape of 3 dragon also, and intelligence could be of, it will be shape of single dragon also. This is well known example given in the traditional books. So ये 3 अलग अलग सी ड्रैगन हो सकते हैं. तो बाहर से देखने में हमको 3 हम्प जो दिखाई दे रहा है, 3 बॉडी जो दिखाई दे रही है, दैट में रिफ्लेक्ट ऑफ 3 डिस्टिंक्ट एंड डिफरेंट ड्रैगन. तो यानी 3 चीजें हैं उसमें. और एक ये है कि नहीं, एक ही है जो इस तरह बड़ा है चीज, एक ही का अलग अलग फैक्टर है. तो फैक्टोरियल अप्रोच तो इस पे जाता है ना. और हम फैक्टोरियल मल्टीपल फैक्टर अप्रोच इसमें जाता है, या इससे और बड़ा कर दे तो ये रॉबर्ट स्टर्नबर्ग एंड गार्डनर का जो मॉडल है, बिल्कुल डोमेन ही अलग हो जाता है. दिस इज द थिंग्स. So I hope so that criticism is now in modern time we acknowledge, and we try to develop some tests based on multiple intelligences. Multiple, जैसे पास मॉडल क्या है, एक इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोसेसिंग मॉडल है, और उसका जो कॉग्निटिव असेसमेंट सिस्टम है CAS also recognizes the fact that intelligence comes in various forms. So cognitive assessment system that is based on information processing model given by Pass and Nalgiri and any other, that also capture the same thing. So I hope you have understood this thing. इस तरीके से आप आंसर कर सकते हैं. And don't forget, the question is evaluate. There are some differences between the term when you say explain, describe, evaluate, critically evaluate. You can say it's almost same. And then compare and contrast. So depending upon the wording of the question, your answer should go. So I want to make this point. Just discussing Robert Sternberg theory, describing or just describing Gardner theory is not the answer. It's the tone, the tuning means the precision, you can say. You should be very precisely focused on explaining what is being asked. Here it is not just give description, it is an evaluation, evaluate. So evaluation should be focused. So I want to make this point here. Right? This is the point I am trying to underscore. कई लोग आंसर तो करते हैं, बट उनका जो है फोकस सही नहीं रहता। तो एक सिंपल क्वेश्चन जिसको सभी को ये आंसर किया होगा, आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक दिस पॉइंट that whether you are precise or not, that will also ensure and decide that whether you get adequate marks or not. So I hope this you have understood my point. If you want that you should improve in answer writing and all, so हमारे पास ब्यूटीफुल माइंड आईएएस में कोर्स है, you can explore टेस्ट सीरीज कोर्स है, एक यूनिट वाइज टेस्ट सीरीज कोर्स है, एंड देन जिसको ज्वाइन करके आप आंसर राइटिंग में कर सकते हैं. आई पर्सनली इवैल्यूएट द आंसर and give model answer and everything. And most important, the one-to-one guidance is there, that where you said you should improve that. And if you are totally new and you have just started, then I have a foundation course in a recorded form, but is very economical also. Otherwise इसका फी जो है 60,000 होता था, जो बुट के 30,000 के आसपास है, उसको आप कर सकते हैं. तो फिर आपका कॉन्सेप्ट बिल्डअप हो जाता है, एंड देन यू कैन टेक द टेस्ट. तो फिर दोनों आपका एडवांस लेवल की तैयारी हो सकती है. वेरी लास्टली, इट इज द पर्सनल गाइडेंस दैट मैटर. तो आप नॉलेज अगर आपका कॉन्सेप्ट का हो गया, देन आपके आंसर्स पे फीडबैक मिल गया, देन प्रिपरेशन इज ओके. एंड दिस इज द वे आई टीच. So if you like, you can explore our website beautifulmindies.com. Thank you very much.